Hello, everyone. This is Sophie Mihalko, and I am back today for another. Oh, I think I went too fast. Hello, everyone. This is Sophie Mihalko, and we are back today for another episode of More Ease, Please. And I have here the beautiful, amazing, fantastic Gosia Lorenz. Hi, Gosia.
Hey, thank you so much. I love this introduction. What else is
Yes.
talking about today?
How was your week?
Easy and fun and joyful, more joyful than in a long time. So thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And birthday girl from yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday.
Yes. So happy birthday, everybody.
Yes.
Cheer for Sophie. Happy birthday, Sophie. You are 21 finally. Yay.
I know, now I can drink and I can vote. And it's funny, I realize how a lot of people give themselves permissions when they reach certain ages.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually never remember how old I am. I have to think about it.
Love it.
So I never restrict myself because of this or because I'm this old or this old. Mm-hmm. It's just funny to me how sometimes I hear people say, well, she's really not dressed appropriately for her age. And I'm like, what is that? What is being dressed appropriately? What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it even mean? This is a great beginning of the conversation, I think. So how many of you guys out there are limiting yourself, and who could you be in the world by all these definitions and restrictions put on us through parents, society, culture, whatever it is, about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate for age, and what if you could scratch it out, delete it, erase it, and dump it all, and just do whatever you please, even if it stirs up some pots and people will get offended. Oh well, as long as you're having fun.
Exactly.
Right? What would it take to be that in the world and be this presence that's nobody will forget you? Would you be willing to step up to the level that you are showing up in the world, that in a way that nobody will forget you ever, even if they don't know your name, if they don't remember exactly how you look like or what you said, there was this lady, oh crazy, or she was different, or she did something fun and it really awoke something in me. So what if it could be that in the world? I'm for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. To be always remembered without really seeking for that. That is really cool. Just by being ourselves, how we can always be remembered because we are us,
Yeah, exactly. What would it take to never forget, ever, ever, ever forget who we are and be and could be if we only chose to be?
Yeah. Okay. So as you were talking, I went through so many directions. So something that showed up a lot this week for me was the seemingly feeling of being overwhelmed, like too much was happening at once. Mm-hmm. But you and I, we both are very busy lady with a full schedule. Mm-hmm. And I know, Gosia, you are absolutely fantastic at this. So the more we get, what happens? The more we get, the more things we get, the faster.
Yeah, the fastest everything shows up. If we get the speed of space, to the speed of space and just being,
yeah,
things just fall into place as if by magic, right?
Yeah, and one of the reasons I got sick was I suddenly felt like I was being given too much, and I bought into the idea that it was too much, right? Because I was visiting people that for them would be too much if they were given this, so I bought into the idea that it was too much, when actually I can do all of it. What's too much for an infinite being? Is that possible?
Exactly. And was it even your idea, or everybody was looking at you, seeing how busy you were, thinking like, oh my God, I couldn't handle it. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. I need my quiet time or quiet life or pace or routine. And like, how aware were you of that, people's judgment
Yeah,
and
and
people's
also,
overwhelm?
yeah. So I wanna share with you something that happened that was really cool. So I'm currently facilitating the the teleclass for the How to Become Money workbook in French. Okay,
Oh.
so we're doing it with 4 other facilitators. So it's 5 of us, and we came together early November. We started talking about it, and then I put together a little website because the Access website was, on pause right now, so we couldn't use the Access website. So I put together a website with a sign-up form, and within like 48 hours, we had more people than I've ever had on any telecall.
How cool is that?
It was so cool. And what I realized was how many, like, because many of us thought, okay, we don't have the Access website. How are we going to do this? Like, how are people going to register? How are we gonna, like, just like, how are we gonna get people to see the class? How they're gonna register? But I knew that there was another system, so I put another system together, and it was fantastic how all of it came together. It was really cool, and I didn't really stop thinking it's not possible. And we keep getting registrations, although I had a problem with the system. So anyway, but it's been really, really expanding and all of it, right? So it's been so much fun to see how when you just have an idea, put it in place. Oh, and this is why I'm mentioning this. We mentioned it maybe once, maybe twice to people, and then people just started registering.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And how does it get any better than this? Ha.
And to me, it's also because we didn't have a point of view about it. We were going to do the class anyway, and we didn't have to do a lot. So that's why I was mentioning this, because a lot of times when we have a lot of projects happening, right, Gosia, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. What if actually there was nothing to do and everything to be?
Yes, I totally agree. And I fall in this trap regularly, quite regular still, like, oh my gosh, you have so much to do, so much, never finish and accomplish everything I would like to. It just, I don't think it ever happened, because there's always more to come and more. But once I stopped, okay, what if it wasn't about doing, it was about being and creating? And I started asking, what can I create today? How much can I create today? What would it take for me to be the speed of space and accomplish and complete all of it with total ease? And things started getting different, so that the sense of being overwhelmed started dissipating, because I felt overwhelmed for months, constantly, and going through all the motions and going through all the work and doing what I was supposed to be doing. But there was always this shadow, this dark cloud of overwhelm. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Because I was coming from the place of doing, delivering, deadlines, all of that, rather than like, what would it take to have fun? And I stopped doing things for me. I stopped, like, I would come home and just go on a computer and for hours until the boys would finish school, and I would go. And I realized, like, this is not working. My body's not moving. I'm not meeting my friends. I would meet, a friend for coffee, and I would feel like, I have to go. I have to do. And yeah, it was just too much. That was too much. Like, functioning from these constructs of this reality rather than the magic that we are seeing, and choosing the magic, choosing the ease, choosing fun, that changed. And now it's like, okay, even if I don't finish 90% of what I wanted to do, it's like, it's okay. What else is possible here? And so many things just dissolve, or somebody else does something, and it's not a drama anymore. And even if it is, how does it get any better? What else is possible here? What else can I create here? What else can I be or choose to generate more? And I just stay in a question rather than beat myself up. I got so good at beating myself up because I didn't finish. And I started asking myself questions like, is it still fun for me? Is this really what I would like to do? Is it really what I want to be doing in my life? And I got a lot of no's. I put myself in places and roles that I was doing because of some becauses, the causal realities. And it wasn't fun for me anymore. So what would it take to be more honoring of ourselves and create more from the joy of it and fun of it? And because we just love it. And we're so excited when even like thinking about it, rather than like, oh, I have to do it. I have to do it. Like what would it be like? And how would our lives be like if we function from that, from just the joy of being and the magic of being and the infiniteness that we could be?
So I hope that anybody who is starting to stress out about the holidays is listening to Gosia right now, because this is what happens in this time of holidays. Not only do we have our regular lives, but we also have events that are taking up a lot of our times. And I know that it's really easy for people to be like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy time, instead of what would be fun for me? How can I make this easy? Just exactly like Gosia explained it. And that's when you talk, the energy of the ease and the magic you be just, pour through. And I hope you all perceive that and take that and be like, okay, what will it take for me to have that? That would be really cool. So I want to tell you, Gosia, that last week we did a little exercise on expanding. Do you remember? And I had a couple of people comment that maybe they did not understand how to do the expanding exercise. And I wanted, so there's a couple of things I wanted to say about that. So everything is made of energy, and you are energy. Energy is contributing to you all the time. Nobody has ever told you to acknowledge it, right? But you already are using energy. So like, if, for instance, if you're crossing the street and there's a car that's coming, you being the energy of the car is going to stop, period. Okay? It's not just that that person has decided to stop. You're being that energy, and therefore the car is stopping. You're already being the magic. You're already being that energy. So everywhere that you guys have decided that you don't know what energy is or how to use it, would you create and destroy all of that, right?
Yes.
So do you, have you always worked with energy, Gosia?
Since I can remember, yes.
Okay. So I didn't. When I came to Access, I was like, what? Energy? What is that? What? And yes, and at the beginning, I used the visualization techniques because it helps. And then when you start visualizing, it's like, oh, wait, something else is happening, and I don't really have words for it, but it's expanding my universe, and I'm sensing things are occurring. And then suddenly you be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing it. I'm being the energy of it, right? So it's not complicated at all. And it's already who you're being and what you're being. Gosia and I, we could tell you how we experience energy, but that's how we do it, right? That's how we experience it.
Yeah. So what if there was no how? You just could be it, and the more you effort it, and the more you try to define it or try, the harder it gets. Because for most people, maybe we did it too slowly, because at the beginning, it's actually very good to do step by step, fill out the room you're in, and bigger than a house, and get bigger than your city you're in, and do it step by step. But actually, most people do it like immediately, and then they're looking for those steps, and they're like, they get confused. So were you one of those people that just like automatically went huge, bigger than the universe and beyond, and then you try to go back and find those steps and the stages? For me, it was very helpful, the stages at the beginning, because I worked with energy my whole life, but not in this way, an expansion, so that was a very, very, very fun new exercise for me. I remember talking to my first facilitator, and she said, after like first bars class, she said, what I love about you is like, you're so light and expanded. And I was like, I am? You know, she's like, oh yeah, you are. I said, yeah, am I now? She said, oh my goodness, yeah. And oh, you just expanded even more. I had no idea that I was doing it. So it was so much fun for me to get that confirmation that I was being it, doing it just
Yeah.
by being me. And that was my like first week in Access. So what if you were one of those people, and this was like the natural state of being, was super 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 easy for you guys, the ones that thought you did it wrong, that yeah, it's really easy because there's no efforting. We learn to effort with everything and to work hard and try harder. So what if like being was just being? Like, can you not be? Can you just disappear and dissipate? No, like you're always being. Even if your body dies, you're still being, right? So like, what if it was that easy?
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. That was so perfect. Because so the technique of the bars, which is the first thing that we teach in Access Consciousness, the first thing we do when we do the bars is we ask energy to come into the body and run through the body so that it basically does what the bars do, what running bars do. And when I first started learning the bars, I remember I was like, what does that mean, pulling energy? And I'm so grateful that my facilitator said, don't worry, you're already doing it. Because if she had said to me, do this, do that, then I would have stuck with that the whole time. But instead, she said, just, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm doing it. So I started trusting that I was doing something that I had no words for, that I had no experience, no reference point for, because it's not something we're taught, right? So I actually want to go a little bit further in this discussion because there's been a lot of dramatic events in the last few weeks, and I was. It's weird that they were both very close to me in Paris when I was there, and then in San Bernardino a few days ago. And there's a lot of discussion about gun control. I actually, for one, I actually think gun control has very little to do with it, even though it may seem like it will help. But there's an underlying thing that actually is energy. But because so many people don't know how to talk about it, how to address it, nobody is actually looking at the energy, right? So Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, actually got all of the people that have taken a certain level of classes on the phone after the Paris events, and we did an amazing energetic contribution to the planet so that those energies that are not contributing to our lives, not contributing to the planet, kind of leave. Yeah. And I feel like if we just look at the effects, if we just look at the stories, you know, we have do not tell stories. If we just look at that, we are preventing ourselves from knowing the energies that are occurring, the energies that we can actually work with, and that will change everything. So if you want more ease in your life, are you willing to actually look at the energy that you're being and the energy that's demanding that you change it?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you so much, Sophie, for saying that, because nobody talks about it. Nobody looks at that except of our, group of, and I know it's thousands of people by now that have done advanced access classes, but still compared to 7.2 billion people on the planet, this is almost like a big secret, well-kept secret that we were screaming to the world, yet the world is not here yet. And what would it take to really change it and be it? I keep asking, like every time I used to be big time conspiracy theorist, and I was always just angry and upset and just felt overwhelmed and felt like hopeless, like they're doing this to us, they're doing it to us. And it didn't work for me. After a while I was like, I'm not happy, I'm like paranoid and angry all the time. And that change with access. But now every time I hear something that seems so big, and we're being controlled and being manipulated, and they want to kill us and all of that, I just go into question, like, what would it take for me to be the change? What energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be to outcreate all of this with total ease? What would it take for all of those lies to be exposed? This is my favorite one recently, because there's so much manipulation through the media going on. I was like, what would it take for all those lies to be exposed and for everybody to see them? So like, what would it take? And like, the more people, because it's exponential, like if I'm the only one asking it in the whole world, you know, it will impact it, and not on the same scale as 100,000 people asking the same question, because it's exponential. Even us two, just if we're the only two in the world asking those questions, Sophie and I, it will be way bigger than just one person. So you create a new reality when you and somebody else come together with another idea, another point of view, another vision, another possibility, however you want to call it. Like, it's enough for two people to create a new reality. What if more people will come together and started creating a new reality of more ease, of more bliss, of none of this, you know, killing nonsense? Like, if somebody wants to die, just die. You don't have to die in the, you know, through the gunshot in some dramatic events. Like, people just don't see that this could be easy. You're bored with life, bored with your body, you can just leave. It doesn't have to be so bloody and messy.
Oh my gosh, you just raised a whole lot of energy, darling. Woo! Okay,
I told you I like to stir the pot sometimes.
Yeah, well, you do. We obviously have very different points of views than most people in this reality, and I'm so grateful to Gosia for actually pushing the envelope a little bit further. Before we address that, I just want to say something about. So I made a tiny little mistake yesterday. I was on Facebook. Somebody was talking about gun control and how we should worry about gun control. So I said, because it's not the issue. And so I said, oh, yes, let's push the conversation further. And then somebody responded to my comment by saying, okay, so I'm going to go lay in front of the building and let people shoot me. And I realized that there are conversations that people are not ready for on social media, in like the public. But those conversations you and I are having with people who have been asking for something different to show up.
If they made it so far, Sophie, to hear what we have to say now, I think they're interested in a different possibility, because they would have left like 10 minutes ago, I hope.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So congratulations if you're watching this video up until now. You probably want something different to show up in. Okay, so gosh, there's so many things in my life right now that I've been looking at. What do I need to do to change them? And I just realized, because they're so close to me, it's hard to like actually have perspective. And I just realized it has nothing to do with doing. It's all about being, and being a different energy, being space, being allowance. So I'm asking now, what will it take for me to have allowance for the people who don't get that it's not about gun control?
Yeah.
You know, if we have allowance for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, oh my gosh, what would be possible?
So if people, Sophie, do you think if people chose more consciousness and more being and more living in the energy, space, and consciousness, that it's possible? Do you think we still would have those incidents?
No way. We would still have upsets. So like, you know, I got upset yesterday at this company that was really doing something bad to my business. So I got upset, and, you know, upsets happen, but I wouldn't go and take a gun and shoot them. I mean, I'm not even considering writing about a report online, which I could, but I'm not even thinking about doing that. It's more like, okay, something didn't work for me and we got to fix this. But it doesn't mean that we have to have revenge or retribution or anything like that. It's just upset. That's it. Yeah. Something showed up that didn't work. That's it.
And you could go even step further and ask, what's right about this I'm not getting, and what's right about me I'm not getting. Like, For the brave ones, maybe.
Well, thank you. What's right about this I'm not getting is that I actually know more about this company's business than this company.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
Choice
no,
creates
I mean, I
awareness.
realized it this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been fighting with people. I actually know more than them.
Yeah.
That's why it was not working for me. So anyway, yeah, thank you for that question. I started a little Facebook group called The Gift of You and when we look at what's right about this that I'm not getting or what's right about me that I'm not getting. So if you want to play with those questions, you can join us. I think Gosia, you're part of it too. So you can join us on that group. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't believe things will happen if we were to actually be space, have more consciousness, or choose consciousness, or choose alliance, choose the space of non-judgment.
And laugh more, please, people, laugh more.
You know, the other day I was walking my dog and I was being cranky, and so I did the fake laugh thing we talked about. It was awesome. It was just awesome.
Yeah, like what if that just laughing at ourselves and whatever the situation could change it. Just change it.
Yeah.
Just change it and dissipate more than any, clearing and pot and pocking and exercise, energetic exercise. Yeah, like what if actually we could have more ease, please? And it didn't have to be so difficult. Maybe?
Well, if people like the difficult,
Yeah, let them have it.
yeah, I'll let them have it.
Okay.
Yeah, my life does not have to be difficult.
Struggle and difficult and obstacles and what else? Pain and suffering. What else do people go for and make so valuable in their lives? Problems.
Problems.
They love their problems.
That's a
And
big.
what if there was no wrongness in anything? And if you love your problems, have it. And if you're ready to change it, change it. Like what if everything was just a choice away and nothing else? And if this didn't work out, choose something else, and then choose something else, and choose something else. What if we didn't have to beat ourselves up for the choices we've been making, or even for creating a stressful life or problems in our life, and it was just a choice? Like what if we could move from the idea of wrongness to like the idea of it's just a choice and I can choose something else and something else and something else and keep choosing, keep choosing, keep choosing.
Keep choosing, keep choosing, keep choosing. It's funny. I am definitely one of those fast-teders who likes choice a lot more than processes.
Yeah.
And so when I have people asking me for a process, usually people ask for a clearing when it's actually a choice. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Or like, what questions can I ask? What process can I do? Just choose something else. You've been choosing this for the last year. The same over and over again. It's not about pot and pocking and clearing and process. You have to choose something else, even if it's not uncomfortable at the beginning. And this is the biggest thing I've seen in Access, like people that've done, some classes or even some advanced classes. They don't get that choice is always superior to any pot and pocking, any clearing. And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, the pot and pocking is this weird thing we call the clearing statement, and you can find it on theclearingstatement.com. And it's just this weird word, sounding words that clear the underlying energy of your limitations or your issues or your judgments or whatever is sticking you, or energy of the past trauma or past memory, whatever it is. So it's right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds is the energy of the polarity that's sticking us. So you can look it up. There's a great whole page on it, and you can start using it if you haven't been using it yet. Maybe.
Yeah, and if you don't remember all the words, you can say pock and pod, or you can say whatever Gary and Dane say. Let's talk about choice very quickly. So to me, choice is being that thing that we want to choose.
Love it. You want to say more? You want to say more about it?
Yeah.
I get that you know something about it that most people don't.
So Dane the other day said that when people tell him they're choosing something, he knows they're actually not choosing it. Because when you're choosing something, you don't talk about choosing it. You're choosing it. You're being it. It's part of your life. So when you say, I'm choosing to have a lot of money, you still have a separation between you and having a lot of money. When you're choosing having a lot of money, you're just being having a lot of money. So your whole being is walks, I'm having a lot of money. Eats, I'm having a lot of money. Gets dressed, I'm having a lot of money. Works with the kid, I'm having a lot of money. Works on the computer, I'm having a lot. Like, it's just being that. Which is why it's called How to Become Money Workbook. You just being that energy. Um, you have kids, or is it a cat?
It's a kitty, and
Oh,
he brought his play mouse, and he's like meowing, wants to play with it. Kimba, oh my gosh, he's so cute.
oh my
Kimba,
God.
like play with me, mommy. He's like a dog. He's not a cat, and he's very loud. So sorry for the side effects.
No worries. So
Side effects.
to me, well, the cat is choosing to be the cat.
Right? He doesn't care that we have a Google
And
Hangout.
he doesn't talk about his mouse. He's just choosing to be with the mouse. He's choosing to make himself known. He's like, okay.
Come on, show yourself. Come on,
Um,
baby. No, he's really beautiful.
so
Come, honey. Oh, here.
the other thing I want to say about choice is that because when you choose something, you're being it, you actually don't necessarily see it. So for instance, people have told me that I bring elegance to things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But it's because I'm being the elegance. And so by just being me, I'm bringing elegance. So like I'm in a couple groups where people have commented that I bring elegance to the group. And I'm like, okay, I'm being it. That's it. The choice is I'm being me, all of me, and me is elegant. And I love elegance. I love everything that's elegant. So I'm being that. I've chosen it. And there's no separation between me and elegance.
So would you say what's the definition of elegance for you?
For me, elegance is the greatest result with the smallest effort.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And that to me is elegance. It's beauty that is so simple that like it doesn't require a lot of makeup or it doesn't require fancy clothes. It's somebody who speaks and they don't have to shout, they don't have to repeat themselves, because when they speak, there's an elegance and you get it. That to me is elegance.
So yes.
I don't think I've ever talked about it out loud.
It's so wonderful. Thank you for saying it. And it came to me to whoever's watching it, whoever's still with us. Like every time I hear something that I still don't get that I'm being, I ask like, I'll have more of it, or what would it take for me to be that, or have more of it, or be more of it. It's almost like downloading the specific program that maybe I'm saying I'm lacking or I'm not choosing yet, whatever it is, the way people maybe see things or have some talents and abilities that I don't have. I always like go into and like extrapolate or copy and paste, and things get easier, and I can perceive like change in my body, energetic change in my body when I do it. So like play with it. Maybe if you haven't tried it before, play it, like you see someone being a certain energy or being an expert on something, like, oh, I have more of it, what would it take for me to know so much about that, or whatever it is, whatever would be fun for you. But I'm playing with it a lot and I love it. Like even if I see a musician playing an instrument that I have no interest in learning how to play, I say, oh, I have more of it, so maybe I play an energetic instrument of your being differently one day. So just for fun.
That is so cool. I wonder how many people will. I wonder, like, how much more fun can we have with that?
And ease. Yeah.
Like it just occurred to me, like, okay, so every time you guys go somewhere and see something you think you don't have or you're not being yet, would you just ask, what would it take for me to have that or more of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's really cool. It's kind of like Christmas, like, you know, the magic of Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic of Christmas and magic of being and magic of magic.
I really like this energy and I'd like to stay with it. Do you want to add anything, Gosia?
You know what? It's such a perfect, like,
Isn't it?
wrap up. I don't know. Is there anything to add? Because it's
Well,
so cool right now.
the only thing we should add is that if you want this energy, Gosia and I together live, it's happening. It's
Happening
happening.
soon.
December 10th.
Bars.
Bars, December 10th. So, you know, actually somebody said that they were considering coming to the class and they already have taken the class several times. And when this person said they were considering coming, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually feel this class is going to go beyond any other bars class I have ever done. Like, I can totally perceive that this class is about to be not for the faint of heart. Like, it's going to go there. Like, if you don't want to change your life, don't come to this class. Don't. Because we're going to, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's going to go there, you know?
Yeah. So it's bars and so much more that's
So much
inconceivable
more.
at this point, that's unexplainable at this point, that's end point. Like, how do you perceive our energy creating something completely different, and how much more you can be as a result of it's like tuning into, you know, what Dane does with the symphony of possibilities, when all of us will start vibrating at the vibration of frequency that we could be or could potentially be, but we're not choosing in the moment. But if we chose it, like, we create the symphony, because then our instrument, our frequency will awaken the hidden frequencies in other people, and then they carry it on and awaken those energies and those frequencies of the being even more. So we create like this beautiful symphony of possibilities that will change the world. So, like, do you get how much you could be the change that you're asking for the other people? Just you, by being you, showing up, even if you don't say a word, you can actually change people around you. And what if we are together, all of us, all tuning into this beautiful symphony and creating this beautiful symphony? It will be so much beyond the bars, learning the technique, practicing the technique, reading the manual, and all of the things that we always do in a bars class. Yeah, how much more we can be. So even if you've taken classes, bars class before, it's like, why not come just for the fun of it, and for that energy that we can all be there.
Oh my gosh.
What would it take?
So excited, girl. Oh.
Yahoo!
Okay. All right. So
Next Thursday,
that class,
week.
yeah, that class is actually on the accessconsciousness.com website. So you can find it either under me or Gosia. That's there. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Gosia. Once again, this totally.
Are you there? I lost you. I am not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, honey. How does it get any better? How does it get any better? How does it get any better than this? I'm not hearing you, honey. What else is possible here? What else is possible here? Let me see. So let's see if I can hang up. Thank you all for watching. and we'll be on next Friday at noon. And we will love to have you with us, whether you watch us later or during the hangout. How much fun can we have? And our bars class, first time ever together with bodies, it's on the 10th in Pasadena. So if you're in the LA area, a little